Hey everyone, welcome to No, Madam Kovic.
And I'm Bruce Greene. Don't forget to clap money.
I
know. Well, sometimes I forget.
Okay. Anyway, it's been over 10 years, but it's almost time for a new Star Wars Battlefront.
And yeah, before you slam the comments telling us about that PSP Battlefront, that one doesn't count. We're talking about big console releases.
We're talking about games people actually play.
Not the PSP Battlefront. Adam even got to play it over the weekend. Look at him all shiny with his EA access and pre-orders.
No, I just flew up to San Francisco and played with Kind of Funny.
Oh.
They had it on PS4.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, no one was on the servers. It was sad.
Oh.
Yeah, don't try to do air assault. It's pointless. So given up that this is shaping up to be an awesome game, we played the beta and we enjoyed it. That is, if you are not super pissed about the lack of space battles.
Fuck you.
We were actually wondering here at the office, will Star Wars Battlefront be the best game based on a movie ever?
Oh, it wouldn't be a Star Wars discussion unless we made a bunch of weird comparisons that don't really make sense, like, could Darth Vader beat Sauron, Lawrence?
That's actually a really good question. He's got force powers and a sword, but Sauron has a sword too. But a lightsaber would cut through Sauron's
Lawrence, don't
sword.
get sidetracked. Let's go on. We've got to get an episode
Pay attention, pay attention. All right, so let's run down our favorite movie-based video games and see how Battlefront stacks up.
Yeah, first, 2004 is The Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher Bay. This is widely accepted, I think, is probably the best movie-based game ever.
On Vin Diesel.
It launched alongside the movie The Chronicles of Riddick, but was actually a prequel to Pitch Black and did a way better job building the lore and character of that universe.
Yeah, also you could shank dudes with a true driver, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So it earned it an 89 on Metacritic, which is actually really good, especially at the time. Movie properties were not good in the early 2000s.
And while we got the camera on you, Lawrence, why don't you take the next one?
So next up is 2014's Alien Isolation. After tons of games that kind of imitated the guns-out, explosion-y vibe of James Cameron's Aliens, Isolation instead went full Ridley Scott, so it was Alien. And as a result, it was slow, kind of lonesome, tense. Not only does it nail the terror trying to hide from the alien, but it also recreated the clunky, like, 70s VHS vision of the future.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like this sci-fi vibe that's kind of coming back into vogue. It's pretty neat. Didn't really beat Riddick in ratings, though. It got an 81. Still a lot of fun to play, though.
It was the Alien game we deserved and got. Yeah. So speaking of Ridley Scott, almost nobody played the 1997 point-and-click game Blade Runner.
I didn't.
Lawrence did. That's why it's on the list.
Yeah.
Apparently it had a complicated branching narrative and full motion video backgrounds that looked pretty fucking cool for the time. Not enough people officially reviewed the game for it, so let's give it an 89.
Since we're on the subject of science fiction, let's go whole fucking hog and bring up Tron 2.0, which came in 2003. Lawrence, I did not play Tron 2.0, so you should probably talk about this.
I will. Thank you, Bruce. I will talk about Tron for a long time.
Go ahead. Keep going.
So let me set the stage for you. You play as the super coolest dude in the world named Jet Bradley. The son of Tron protagonist Alan Bradley. Jet. His name is Jet. You play as a character named Jet.
Lawrence, how much would it cost for you to change your name to Jet?
I don't know, man. I need to look this stuff up. I've done some light Googling, but I feel like that, man, how cool would that be to sign your name like Jet? Anyway, as you'd expect in Tron 2.0, you get sucked into a computer and have to battle your way out with laser frisbees. Despite sounding dumb as shit, the game actually had a really cool RPG-based skill system. Like you would earn upgrade points and upgrade your subroutines, and that would let you like open doors or be better at combat or be better at like talking to different programs. It was kind of like Deus Ex. Also, you played as a character named Jet in a game with battle frisbees. Fucking great. That string of very cool words earned Tron 2.0 an 84 on Metacritic.
James didn't like the game, right, James?
No.
I just don't. Everything he's saying sounds terrible to me.
Speaking of tumbling into strange fantasy-scapes, American McGee's Alice, originally released in 2000, surprised everyone with a darker take on the Lewis Carroll classic. You played the game, right?
I did, actually. Yeah, that old one, because this was pretty interesting. So the artistic design and graphical prowess of the game were very impressive 15 years ago. Not to mention an extremely depressing revelation near the end of the game. The fact that the game launched around the time Hot Topic was a big thing.
It still is. It's still a big thing.
In a different way. It's more for an internet audience rather than the sad people who really enjoy Marilyn Manson and Nine Inch Nails. I had a weird childhood. Anyway, that got an 85. I enjoyed the game.
Pretty good. So in order to segue from that game to this game, we don't really have anything, so we'll do this one. Alice in Wonderland, directed by Tim Burton, 2010, scored by Danny Elfman, who also scored Spider-Man.
Wait, so Alice is a Spider-Man game?
No, that's what Lawrence wanted this to be the segue.
It probably would have been easier to go from Tron to this.
2004 Spider-Man 2 was the first game to really nail open-world Spider-Man action, not to mention the swinging physics. It was one of the first games to make traversal a mechanic unto itself. Before this, the coolest thing you could do is steal a car in GTA.
That's true. Also, you grab balloons, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, Spider-Man, you're the real hero.
It's really stupid.
Getting our balloons.
I watched videos of that. It looked really dumb.
I beat this game.
How many Chad Kroger's out of 10?
It's got Chad Kroger's. There's 8 Chad Kroger's out of 10, an 80 on Metacritic.
You're thinking of the first one.
No, I'm always thinking of Chad Kroger.
No.
Let's move on to Star Wars. There's not a segue for that. Star Wars Jedi
Dashboard
Knight,
Confessionals.
Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 released in 1997 and was fucking awesome in addition to having a really long Star Wars.
Take it away, Lawrence.
Yeah, so this game was a follow-up to the mostly unassuming Dark Forces. I mean, it was still really fun, but it was just a straightforward first-person shooter. You play as Han Solo knockoff Kyle Katarn.
It was cool. I like Dark Forces.
Yeah, you stole the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool, neat tie-in. In the sequel, however, as every character in Star Wars eventually does, you discover you had Jedi powers.
Whoa!
And you can use a lightsaber in addition to the typical buffet of Jedi abilities. You could even customize your powers as light side or dark side. So you could either have like healing or force lightning and stuff like that, and that would give you a different ending depending on the sort of powers you picked.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It was the first game that provided that sort of Star Wars experience, let you live that narrative in that world with all those powers. That's why it got a 91 on Metacritic.
Wow, that's really, really good.
It also gave way to probably one of my favorite games of all time, Jedi Outcast.
Oh, also a great game.
Everyone loves Jedi Academy, but I don't know, for whatever reason, Outcast was like the game I loved.
it was great.
But with all that said, that is pretty impressive, but only one game, one man could actually top it. It's an alcoholic, womanizing, murderous hero. Golden Eye.
No, you got it wrong. It's Bond. James Bond.
I don't know movies.
007 GoldenEye released for the Nintendo 64 in 1997 and remains one of the best movie adaptations ever made.
Granted, it was only loosely following the plot of the movie,
True, yeah.
but it was the best console-based multiplayer shooter until Halo Combat Evolved release 4 years later, so it was a little ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's 4 years of decking your fucking friend for always getting the goddamn golden gun and screen. They were always screen looking. Those motherfuckers always screen looking.
You had no other choice.
Well, no, that's not true. You could not look at the screen to your right. You could keep your eyes focused on the part of the screen that
Very
you could
hard.
play.
No, we were on, like, we didn't even have CRTs back then. It was just a tube.
You gotta look where you're supposed to look.
I was always given the clob.
I like that gun.
I was good with the clob. I was
Always
okay with
good
it.
the
The
claw.
Clob wasn't so bad.
Clob wasn't. You get two of them, you're pretty good.
GoldenEye still reigns supreme with a 96 on Metacritic. The game does not stand up, as Adam Kovic says often.
Those are all nostalgia points.
They are all nostalgia points, but back then, Metacritic got a 96. Really good game.
It was good for its time.
Yeah.
So anyway, we figure a battle for best movie game comes down to basically Battlefront or GoldenEye. Can a game about space guns and laser swords beat a game about a dude that drinks a lot and then shoots people? He also sleeps with women. Anyone?
I mean, yeah, that's cool, but he doesn't do that in the video game.
Famike Jemisin.
What about Top Gun for Nintendo Entertainment System? You couldn't even land.
Look, I still think, I mean, I said this out loud this morning, and this is what actually prompted the story, is that Star Wars Battlefront is probably the best movie-based video game ever.
Having played it this weekend and being in the beta stuff, there are moments like just running under a sand collar where you're like, this. We are graphically at a point where it feels like you're in the movie.
Yep, it does. It feels like you're in the movie.
It's very cool. I'm happy about this.
It's
Lawrence,
actually
what do you
even
think?
better considering we have Annihilation up here on the TV and it looks like shit.
Rayden?
It's a new look. Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Are you
No,
talking
the other Annihilation.
the very same? Did we miss a game? Are you guys convinced Star Wars Battlefront will still be a hot piece of garbage?
Nah.
Please let us know in the comments, like you always do.
Top Gun.
No, Top Gun.
How am I supposed to land this thing?
Maverick.
It's easier to land a real plane.
Maverick starring James Garner? I love that video game.
Oh, what card did he pull?
Can you name one of the actors in Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Jane Remar.
Who's he?
He's Rayden.
Rayden.
What a waste of an evening, Lawrence. Nice job.
Yeah,
Watching One Punch Man.
I could have been watching One Punch Man.
The only thing is, Lawrence, is you watched it alone.
I made my girlfriend watch it with me.
Come in.
I don't know.
I also saw Almost Famous, so
Just checking the integrity of the building.